How you choose to view Xandria's Sacrificium as a collection and which piece closes out the album journey, that's up to your determination. But in our journeys together, The Watcher will serve as that. Though you could make an argument for, again, the original album in its non-bonus condition, or not with that track not included. Sweet Atonement would have been your outro piece. And that was quite an interesting twist on expectancy. Again, I'm considering the voice of entirety and of predominance expressed through Sacrificium. And there's a definitive footing into a harder tone that a piano ballad in entirety was quite interesting of a twist. But I think, on effect, fitting for Sacrificium. Interestingly enough, again, the way we close and the way we begin are in direct opposition to one another on force. But yet there's equivalent character and prowess on a symphonic connective thread. I see that, and of course with the vocal intermeshing in the midst of the Diana era, oh, of course. It's just going to be beautiful as a piece. Really, it ruminates in terms of aesthetic and play, but I quite liked it. Sacrificium is that. A beautiful witness we're taking together in full. That's been the story. Again, a bit of an impulsive decision on my end to change the destination course and where we're going, but warranted, I think. Those earlier numbers introduced us to such a capable release in their history. As we are exploring right now, in the past, going into the future of where we currently sit, what brought me in for the wonder still awaiting, the present album offering. But going back in Xandria's history and studying different eras of the group and different lineups of notably different vocalists at the helm, whether it be Manuela Carlero, Diana von Giersbergen, or Amba Voorverhees, I've liked all three. But Diana really is a shining example of prowess within the symphonic metal territory, of which Xandria has quite a claim, I think, and again, a definitive history. But the vocals really extend their reach here. In favorability for me, Diana is quite impressive. As a spinto soprano singer, she really has a capable reach, but her integration and natural balance of Xandria's scores really does impress me. And not the first Dutch singer I've heard in my life, but one is, well, like any artist I've heard, again, in the European space, very capable. And I hope this is a fresh introduction for you. Admittedly, you're arriving kind of late into our survey, but I would recommend if you are approaching, and that's fine if you are. You could humor this one first if you wish, but I highly recommend for your sake, as whether you choose to do it independently alongside me is your choice, but Sacrificium as an entirety listen is an incredibly beautiful work of art that you should humor from the title track onward. You should go through, in fact, in that order if you wish to, or, you can decide for however you like to do it. If you want to start with The Watcher, you can, but just humor the album in entirety. And maybe subsequent Xandria work, I think it will be to your liking in whatever we've examined together. In mutual companionship, as music is best enjoyed that way. Again, with a welcome-at approach to anybody on a Vantage Point Extreme. Longtime fans, I know many of you advance me, or initiate listeners. I want you to feel at home here with an incredibly capable German-based symphonic metal talent, a favorite landscape of mine in the metal world. Understandably, when you consider sweeping scores that perfectly intermix a balance between metal veneer of today and maybe of eras past with a classical music tone. This really captures a lot whenever you look at Xandria numbers. Any piece from their scores, I've really seen a key versatility and expression, independence sometimes and liberation from other pieces within an album construction, and certainly of their eras, but a real prowess in symphonic metal delivery. Very impressive stuff. Let's wrap out our journey with The Watcher and unlock opportunities for future endeavors with Xandria, as we will be taking in getting to, I believe, next that EP I always forget the name of. That's our next stop before we hop into Theater of Dimensions and continue down the Diana von Giersbergen investigation of her capability even beyond that. But this is the initiation point with Xandria, with maybe some groups spliced in. I don't know how I'm going to get to this yet, but we're taking a deep dive of her and mutually as well with Xandria in tow. Necessary, though, I think, in terms of our foundational steps. Any way that you approach, though, Xandria is an incredibly capable band. I hope you like them if this is a first entrance for you. And again, I highly recommend an entirety journey for Sacrificium for yourself. Certainly, based on what we've explored together, it is so worth your time. But let's hear the closure to our journeys together. The bonus track on the album. And I'm sure it'll be quite as capable and equally as capable as any piece we've witnessed yet. This is definitely deliberate Xandria on symphonic force. Definitive spin-off Sweet Atonement. Score tonal shifts. Great entrance, though, again on the symphonic cue with the choir. The slower vocal utterances paired with greatly imagined illustrative details, good pictures on the song. Oh, beautiful balance on vocal pace. Central melodic register here. There's some light pitches for possible incline. See? Return to the beginning, okay. Is that a lower elevation of her pitch or an intermix of the choir or one of the, or a set of male vocals? There's a dual layer here, it's quite interesting with the lower pitch. And I can't tell who's voicing it, but it's a good blend. Fresh presence, some invention with this number. Quite a drop on entrance, I like that. Static ends too. More deliberance in this section given the pace. Really nice momentum build here. Just light little twinges. But still, different areas of this song feel quite fresh. These later entries on the album have boasted that type of independence. I've seen that. Natural encoding of pace on that. It's so subtle, but it's a great little groove added in. I've never heard the word eider down before. It's great to have a recap of the choir too. Again, perfect closure effect. Wow. The vocal conclusion on behalf of the choir, instead of utilizing a symphonic instrumental effect, is really interesting. Have they done that before? I know Diana's been closing out some songs, at least, well, some independently, others with an instrumental blend. I haven't noticed, maybe the choir lightly, but that was quite deliberate and swift. Again, that end, I think it's a lower E. Nice octave choice, and again, association to score. It's a dramatic finish, but I quite like it. Piercing. And the later couple of pieces on Sacrificium, on entrance of the full album sweep, definitely exhibit independence on personality. Sweet Atonement, Temple of Hate, and now The Watcher, I see differentiated traits. Well, yeah, I am thinking of Temple of Hate in terms of the very pacing and key choices. I'd say this one is definitely the most deliberate between the three, where I do see, well, maybe a couple of the other numbers could be reflected on this as well that I'm forgetting about at the moment, but in how we approach this piece, deliberate Xandria roots on entrance. The choir, that really does take for me, again, that resonance to where we sit today, with a lot of the pieces off The Wonder Still Awaiting, that being the first entrance with the way the choir's paced and deliberately emphasized. Notably, I'd say Reborn, The Wonder Still Awaiting, Ghosts, maybe? And a couple of the other ones, too. The Maiden and the Child, I believe. This one definitely is very reminiscent of patterns that I'm familiarized to, again, in retrospect of present day going into a past investigation. But it's a nice way to start out the song and initiate with a varied tone. Again, the way we intercede, strict choir pacing mirrored in, then switching as the verses evolve for a ballad tone and appearances with some light dramatic, but light shifts in between on the, I think the blood been spilled line, or maybe I have that association wrong, but it's still evenly foretold and paced throughout, with good vocal tracking, of course, for Deanna, with capability that she readily boasts, good elevation as well as pitch on the introductory chorus. That white eider down falls to the ground line too, and again, how that scope is mapped out. Or eider down? I've never heard that word. Feel free to define what that means down below. I'll look it up for myself. I've never heard that word in my life. Beautifully voiced, though, in terms especially that last chorus with the evolution on key pitch, which allows Deanna to climb quite high, even though there was a past number where, she readily did that anyway. And the key change drifts downward instead of the upward normal. I forget which one that was in the moment, but the formal pattern for many groups when they do a key change is that the vocals will, if there's a key change, the vocals will mirror whichever direction it goes. And with Xandria, whatever piece that was, there was a contrast in which the vocals split and seemed to go even higher, which again was impressive to me, because you don't oftentimes see that, but Deanna can command that range. She's so adept. I love listening to her. Just in 13 pieces of a welcome, well, 14 if you count Call of Destiny off of Theater of Dimensions. I know that one going in, but everything else we've exhibited, or we've experienced together, is quite fresh. In just the first footing to the Deanna era with Xandria, as well as a Deanna investigation. I can't wait to dig deeper, and we are going to. I cannot wait for next steps of what's coming. And as well experiencing, perhaps, freshened Xandria adventurism and some of their numbers. I can already think of where we're going with Theater Dimensions based on my familiarity to Call of Destiny. There's even some traits there that come across quite fresh, just in that one number. So, in our next entrance, so we're not getting to that one next. That is second to Fire and Ashes. We're going to start with that EP and then venture into that collection, but I'm sure it'll be for a great time, right? That's been the story of Xandria, and really anything we studied together in their duration, certainly of the Deanna era. I would love to hear if those feelings are shared for you down below in experience. Of course, the music is an individualized path and how we receive it, so feel free to tell me what your thoughts were on the closure bonus track of The Watcher, acting or serving as our closure of A Sweet Atonement. You could make an argument for it being the ultimate album closure in presented in first form. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that piece and your point of approach if you wish to state it. Longtime fan or fresh initiate listener, what do you think of it? It's a capable song, I find. With again, adventurism that is mimicked by these later pieces. Quite well. And again, with a thorough adeptness and traits of connection back to Xandria roots of familiarity for me, to the present era exclusively. And maybe with some traits to this album as well, but in particular, yeah, it really echoes to The Wonder Still Awaiting on part of 4 pieces. It's a reliant root, obviously, but that one is exercised that perhaps was based on even maybe early releases to this, but definitely voiced via Sacrificium. I quite like seeing, again, that type of trait of continuance in threads being pulled. And maybe we'll see that more in our future studies together, which I'm sure will be equally as glowing as Sacrificium. Our entire encounter with this album was. And I can't wait to explore more with you from the Deanna era, which absolutely, I would say, qualifies as a real golden standout moment of Xandria's history. Deanna really was a good fit to the group, and I'm sure we'll get to see more witness encounters of that as we dive further. Not only with Xandria, but as well, Deanna's independent credit of what she's doing now. I can't wait for those days, but we're getting to them slowly but surely. We're almost there. I love every step of the way, though, of what we're humoring together. With any releases, of course, to any artist credit, but Xandria, man, I like the deeper dive with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.